Hello, this is Salvatore Vinciguerra. Welcome to the Georgia Veterans Memorial State Park in Cordele, Georgia. The Georgia Veterans Memorial State Park is only 1 hour south of Macon, Georgia, and about 2 hours south of Atlanta, Georgia. This was a great place for me, especially since I was visiting the Jimmy Carter National Historic Site in Plains, Georgia, as well as the National Prisoner of War Museum in Andersonville. First, I'm going to be discussing the campsites. Then I'll be showing you some of the resort, which the campsites actually have access to a lot of the amenities at the resorts. And then I'll be talking about the museum and some of the other amenities at the Georgia Veterans Memorial State Park. So the campsites are separated from the resort area. They do have a variety of different campsites. Some sit right upon Lake Blackshear, as well as some sit a little bit further away from the lake. Mine is number 52, and it is a back-end site. There's plenty of room if you wanted to put a very long bus in this particular site. It is electric and water. They do have cable, and there is a dump station as well as a bathhouse where you can do laundry. I did visit this particular campsite during the summer, and it is very warm in Georgia during this particular time, and there are no trees that surround the campsite, so it made it actually kind of toasty in this particular area. Whereas if you got a campsite which was closer to the lake, they had more trees and it was a lot cooler in those particular areas of the campsite. This area has about 82 campsites. Some of the lengths that the RVs can fit into are about 50 feet. And you can put 1 or 2 tents on there, and you can have up to 2 vehicles per campsite. One of the great things about staying at the campsites was that you were able to go to the resort area and use their free Wi-Fi, their swimming pool, hot tub, and all of the other amenities that the resort had. This is a great place to either have a convention of some sort, or even maybe to have a family reunion. They have more than 10,000 square feet of state-of-the-art conference space, plus scenic outdoor venues, including the majestic Lady Liberty touring boat. The conference center at Lake Blackshear Resort and Golf Club can accommodate up to 450 people in a comfortable setting, complete with ergonomically designed armchairs and tables, high-speed internet access, as well as on-site AV and business services. From golf tournaments at the Dennis Griffiths designed 18-hole course to fishing tournaments on the lake to outdoor sports such as hiking, disc golf, and challenge courses. With almost endless options and a highly trained team of activity experts, your guests will feel challenged, not your planning skills. These are some of the cabins that they have on site, and they also have pavilions that are nearby where people can host a variety of different parties and activities like family reunions. It's also very nearby the lake, so people can also do a lot of canoeing and kayaking, and they also have boats that you can rent and go out on the water. There's even a small beach area along the lake, and there are several playgrounds throughout the area for the children, as well as 2 different restaurants. There's one in the resort, and there's also one that's at the marina by the lake area. There is a historic SAM Shortline railroad that starts at the Georgia Veterans State Park and Military Museum. It has stops in Leslie for the Rural Telephone Museum and other attractions, Americus for the Habitat for Humanity's Global Village. Then it goes to Archery, or Plains, Georgia, where the President Carter's Campaign Museum, President Carter's Boyhood Home, and other historical sites. And about 11 miles north of Plains, Georgia, is the Andersonville National Historic Site and National Prisoner of War Museum. Tickets for this train ride cost between $39.99 for adults, seniors $36.99, children's between the ages of 2 and 12 $29.99, and then the prices go up from there. Just a warning to those visitors that are going specifically for the train ride, it doesn't run all the time, so make sure that you're calling ahead of time and you're making your reservations for your train tickets, or you won't get a seat on the train when it does actually run. The train does not always stop in every town, and depending upon which day you travel, the train stops long enough for passengers to get on and off the cars, usually 5 minutes, and then it comes back with different layovers at different times. So make sure that you look at the schedule ahead of time, especially if you want to see the historic sites along the way of the train route. The Georgia Veterans State Park was established on December 4, 1946 as a memorial to U.S. veterans. The 1,300 square foot park features a museum with aircraft, vehicles, weapons, uniforms, and other memorabilia dating back from the Revolutionary War to the present. The great thing about visiting this particular museum is that some of the artifacts are outdoors and some of them are indoors. The outdoor portion of the museum has a variety of planes, tanks. They have different jeeps and different types of transportation, even some cannons that were used in various wars. This can take you about a half hour to an hour to walk through all of the different displays that are outside. Make sure that if you are going to go inside, that you do look at the hours that are displayed when you go to the visitor center. It is free to go inside as long as I think you are visiting the resort or the campsites to go inside of all of these different areas, but make sure that you're watching the time so that you can visit the indoor museum, because it's very cool to visit inside all of the different artifacts that they have in there. This is a great place to look at a Sherman medium tank and also a Patton medium tank, and both of these tanks were used in World War II. They have a variety of artillery outside as well, and some of these long guns were not only used in World War II, but they also have some that are Russian made that were used in World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam conflict. I found the inside of this particular museum even more intriguing than what was on the outside. You should take your time and look at these artifacts very carefully. It's a very small museum, but they have everything from these cannons that were used in the Revolutionary War. They have a replica of a wagon that was used in the Revolutionary War in a movie here. And there's so much weaponry in here, not only from what our soldiers or American soldiers used in various wars, but also some of these are artifacts that were taken back home with our soldiers, and they kept them, and then I guess they were donated to this museum. And it really documents a variety of different things that happened during these various wars. Here's a Japanese flag. These are some different swords from the conflict in World War II, the signing of the peace treaty, and it's just an amazing little museum that if you really take your time, you kind of wonder, how did they even accomplish the task of collecting all of these different items and put them in this museum? And you know, even some of these artifacts, even looking at them, can be quite controversial, because you do have some artifacts that are from Nazi Germany, and our soldiers did take them at that particular time, and then they were donated here. But it's a very intriguing museum to visit, and if you really like weaponry and military memorabilia, this may be a good place for you to visit if you're visiting the area. This is Salvatore Vinciguerra. Thank you for watching this video on the Georgia Veterans Memorial State Park in Cordele, Georgia. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe to this channel, and have a great day. Thank you.